You don't walk what you talk. A lot of you guys, you know the right answers to all the questions, to all the talking points that we have on this podcast. But as we push you forward to become more advanced, we need you to start walking what you're talking. Okay? And we're going to go over that first tonight. Also, tonight, in the second segment, we're going to talk about being caught in woman's web. Where if you're talking to a group of people about what you're dealing with, either with dating or women in your rotation or women you're in a relationship with, you can't really explain it to everybody else because it doesn't make a lot of sense to everyone else. It only makes sense to you because you're caught in the woman's web of logic. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up tonight with a very important topic. I hope you stick with us all the way through because the last segment is going to be all about why you can't keep a bitch. Why you can't keep a bitch. We're going to break it down for you, some of the most common things that we see. Let's jump right into the fun, Anthony. You don't walk what you talk. Now, Anthony, as we start to stretch out into the manosphere, as we start to interact with people out here in the red pill community, we do see a lot of guys that can quote page number 28 and quote Rollo Tomasi's second book of How to Be a Rational Male, and they do all this shit, but then we listen to their dating stories
Don't
and
match.
we're like, you may know the right answers on the test,
Yeah.
but this isn't how you're living your life.
Yes. What you're talking about don't match what you're walking. And if you think that you can just, you know, I've been this road. I've been down this road myself. If you think you can mind warp your way into a healthy relationship, like she's not in your head. She's not dating inside your head, right? She's dating your actions. How you manifest with her while you're dating her. And if you're not consistent because you're still in your head trying to figure things out, even though you know, because this is like this, Wes. This is what I akin it to. You know the plays in the playbook, but now when you got a DB in front of your face and you got to run a slant on what's called in the huddle, but to see the safety crawl down, you see the safety walk down, and you don't do your option route and go a hot route, go deep fade. Now you run a slant because you're so worried about the DB in front of you that you're not paying attention that if the safety walk down, you have to change your route. You have to not only know how to maneuver on the field, but know how to maneuver when it's 3rd and 2, and they're counting on you to get open. They call your number in the huddle, and you didn't run the right route. You run the slant, and the quarterback throw the fade, and they gotta decide if they're gonna punt the ball or not. This is very crucial in your gaming when if I was to tell you, hey, when the safety walk down, what do? Oh, I run my fade route.
Motherfucker, why didn't you do it?
Right. And then it's got this look like, I don't know, man. And it's like when you're on a date and she shit tests you and you're like, you go to apologizing on why you said, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, I shouldn't have said that. And you're like, and I'm like looking at you like, shaking my head like, what are you doing? You know this is a shit test. You know this because when I talked to you 5 minutes ago, you said that was a shit test. But now that you actually have to live it out, you're not knowing, you can't recognize it because the heat is on you, the pressure is on you. How can we get these guys to recognize that it takes more than just talking what we know? Because we can go online and talk to other guys and tell them what to do and what not to do. But then we go out on a date because we hadn't been on a date in a while, right? We're not out here dating multiple women in 1 week. We're just out here talking on Facebook Messenger, and we're saying what we need to say, but we're not doing what we need to do. So when it actually comes to you doing it, you don't know how to react. You don't know how to respond because you're in your head, and it's not natural to you. You can't just get on the field and say, "Oh, the safety's walking down. I'm gonna fake this slant, and then I'm gonna swim move this guy, and I'm gonna be open for this fade."
Well, you and I during the pre-show, we were talking about why is this?
Yeah.
Why does this happen? If they know the answers, but they don't live the life, why does this happen? And you and I both came to the same conclusion. They're not playing enough football. If you only play football once every 3 years, then this is not going to be automatic for you. It's just not, guys. What we're seeing a lot of is a lot of guys that we talk to are not talking to enough women. They're not going up to the plate enough and taking swings.
And if it's and this is what they get confused about. They're not talking to enough different women. Because what happens is you get caught up in how this one chick responds.
And we have a whole second segment over this about getting caught up in women's web, right?
Yeah. You can't get caught up in one chick and how, oh, well, this is how she responds, so it's just how everybody else is going to respond. Well, you don't know that because you haven't been out there dating multiple different women to know what the multiple different ways a chick can respond. And then you get to find this out. This is how natural it is for me. I know how a chick normally responds. So when she doesn't respond that way, I know immediately she's not going to be good for me as a person that I need to date.
Or to your point many times, Anthony, or she's going to be great for you.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, she's not responding how I normally see women act, but I find this intriguing.
Yes.
But it typically only manifests itself in those two ways.
Right.
Either this isn't going to work for me, or this is going to be fucking awesome.
Right.
If they're not responding how you predict.
But how do you know when you only think there's only one way to go? Like if you think you're waiting for one answer because this is the answer you always got from one chick or one type of chick. Because guess what you always find out? When you haven't fixed yourself completely, you always end up dating the same type of chick.
Yes, sir.
So now you're getting the same answers because you're dating the same type of chick. You haven't broadened your horizons. You haven't gotten out there and dated different types of chick that challenge you because you're challenging yourself.
Anthony, talk about the different types of chick, because I don't want them to think that we're talking about blondes and brunettes. You know what I'm saying? Because, I always tell the story, like, I had a blind spot with Asian girls, right?
Uh-huh.
So I made sure that I was going to go look for Asian girls. But that's not what we mean here. We're talking about the same kind of chick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just focused on chicks that had more complex careers that were perhaps a little bit more worldly.
Yeah.
And that was just what you focused on.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I think that you guys haven't internalized yet that when you focus on a certain type of woman, all of a sudden you're dating like 10 of those types.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish we could get into that. Anthony, I wrote down something here. I remember, and if you guys, I know Anthony, you've read it, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. This wasn't in the book, but everybody knows a big chapter in the book is focusing on a win-win, right? So when you're dating, you want it to be a win-win. You want it to be something that's going to be beneficial to you, but it's beneficial to her too. She's having a good time, because you don't want a bitch that's just sitting over there spreading her legs and just being a dead fish either, right? But one time I was listening to Stephen Covey talk on audio, just one of his lectures, Anthony.
Yeah.
And he talks about win-win. And he was talking about, yeah, you can do win-wins in life, but not when you are dealing with landlords. And he's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, this landlord raised my rent. And, I've had my retail shop there for years. and he raised my rent, and I've just got to kind of take it. And he says, well, that's not a win-win. He goes, but how do I create a win-win when I'm not fully in charge? He's like, you're underestimating, and this is what I want our guys to lock into with your dating. You're underestimating the outside of win-win. There's something called no deal. No deal. We had a friend to the show, and he knows who he is, who recently